Hello all, I am Professor Pooja Patil from TSSM Bhirabai Sawan College of Engineering, Nare, Pune. I am going to teach you Unit number 2, Test Planning and Management from subject Software Testing and Quality Assurance. So the next point is, these points are I have already covered with my another videos. Silent features of good software testing. First one is capture user requirements. Basically, what happens in user requirements? The requirements are defined by users or customer as well as some implied requirements which are intended by the user but not put in words. It represents in the foundation on which software is built. Intended requirements are to be analyzed and they are to be documented by tester so that they can write the test scenario and test case for these intended requirements. Second one is capturing the user needs. In this, user needs may be different from user requirements specified in software requirement specification. User needs may include present and future requirements and other requirements which may include process requirements and implied requirements. Next feature is design objectives must define properly. Design objective that states why a particular approach has been selected for building a software. This selection process indicates the reason and criteria framework used for development and testing. It contains the different user interface requirements, performance requirements, and other requirements, some functional requirements that are interpreted in design, and how they can be achieved in further development process is to be designed in this phase. Next feature is user interface simple and easy to understand. In this, what happens? User interface are the ways in which the user interacts with the system, and it includes screens and other ways of communication with system as well as displays and reports generated by a system. So simple UI interface is necessary. Next feature is internal structure complex but simple to understand. Internal structures are mainly guided by a software design and guidelines or standards used for designing development. In this, internal structures may be defined by development organization or sometimes may be defined by a customer. It talks about the some reusability testing to analyze software product as per the some standards as per the guidelines which are decided by the organization. Next feature is execution of code reduces a risk of failure. Suppose testing is the execution of a work product to ensure that it works intended by a customer or a user and is prevented from any problem, misuse or risk of failure. That means execution can only prove that the application module and the program work correctly as defined in the requirements and which are interpreted in our design. So these are the some features which are required for a good software testing. Next point is test policies. Test policies are generally defined by a senior management, try to cover all the aspects of the testing. It will decide the framework of a testing and its status in overall mission of achieving the customer satisfaction. What happens? We have to achieve the customer satisfaction. We have to give the product to the customer with defect free. Testing will perform against TQM principles to find out and fulfill the customer centric approach. TQM is nothing but the total quality management. We have to achieve that. Next point is test strategy or the approaches. Test strategy defines the action part of the test policy. It will define the some ways and means to achieve the some test policy. Generally, what happens in globally there is a unique test policy decided by management, but it can varies as per the customer deadline, products, and the project. Definition of coverage is defined for a testing which contains some functional requirements and features for a different products and the customer and a projects. In simple way, I will give you one example that if the test policy at the organization level for a product organization, while we are deciding a test strategy may differ from product to product, it will maybe differ from customer to customer and time to time. Some of the examples of test strategy. First one I have explained you, that is that unique test policy is decided for the management, but it can varies from product to product. And the second one is a definition of coverage is defined by requirement, functional requirements, and particular for the product, project, or for the customer. Second one is a level of testing starting from the requirements and going up to acceptance phase of the product. That is nothing but the unit to acceptance testing. Third approach is how much testing manually and when to automate has been planned and executed. Last one is number of developer and the tester are assigned in a proportion. Next point is test planning. Test planning is the first activity of test team. Test plan are defined through a SDLC lifecycle. Next one is test plan must be realistic and talks about the limitation and the constraints in the system. If suppose we are doing a test plan for the particular project, so it should contain the realistic processes. It should give the some limitations also. It contains the different stages like that. Planned testing efforts advocately with assumption that defects are exist in the software. If suppose all the software products having the defects, test planning should know the number of defects it is intending to find by executing the given plan, and that plan should cover all the number of iterations required for a software testing to give its confidence required by a customer and to give a proper product to him. Second one, successful tester found defects in the systems and not appreciates the developers. Sometimes what happens, developers do its work, developer do all the codings, but if the project will be satisfied, if the product will be done by a tester, then its credit goes to a tester, not to a developer. Next one, testing does not completed at the end of development life cycle. Means what? Testing is not a certifying process, it is a life cycle activity and should not be a last part of a development life cycle before giving the application to a customer or a user. In this, acceptance testing and system testing are the integral part of software development lifecycle, where the certification of application is done by a customer. That is the completed the test life cycle. Next, verification and validation. Verification is nothing but do a right thing, and validation right thing to do. It must done at the each phase of testing. Means we have to do a white box testing, we have to do a black box testing. Next point is testing process and the number of defects found in a testing. In real time, as we find more defects, there is a probability of finding some more defects. It is governed by a team defect finding the ability. In next slide, I have given the figure of defect range so that as a tester assures the one defect may leads the multiple defects and count of a defect will increasing. Next, figure 4, defect trend. What it shows, this figure, it shows the relationship between the number of defects found and the probability of finding the more defects. So this for the testing process and the number of defects found in a testing. Suppose we find a more defects, then the more defects in the product, there is a probability of finding the another defects in that. So it is the, we want the testing defect finding the ability. So in next lecture, next video, I will cover the remaining points. Thank you.